are, as you said, cultivating consciousness, which is the hashtag.
This was, I think, in all our minds that we have to give a shoe for every woman in this collection. So
I think it was a lot of fun. Been like a very easy transition from collecting scraps to making a shoe, like just 5 shoes, right?
and in the same three colors, the black, olive, and tan.
Welcome everyone. I am Neha Kumthekar, co-founder of Oceedee. I want to first thank all of you for taking out the time and joining us here today. I have with me Kriti Tula, who is the co-founder of Doodlage, and Aditi Khorana, who is the head designer at Oceedee. And the three of us are super excited to showcase and launch our latest collection, MAALIN, which we have designed in collaboration with the amazing team at Doodlage. We thought it would be a great idea to host a small curated event and unveil the collection with all of you, share the thought process and the creative process that goes into designing such a collaboration. But before we jump into it, I wanted to share the thought behind Malin, and what the concept is all about. So, Malin is a capsule edit of five timeless and very versatile designs. But the whole idea is that it's handcrafted by using and upcycling our leather offcuts. It's a small step for us to reduce our waste and, of course, in turn, reduce our contribution to the landfills. But I think my favorite part about the entire collection or the collaboration is the campaign that's come out of it. It's, of course, an ode to all the women who have been cultivating the idea of change, sustainability, and each piece in the collection is a testament to their journey and the bold steps they have been taking to create a difference and, of course, sow a seed of better future. And who better than to be our first Malin but Kriti herself? So, Kriti, over to you. Would love to know your thoughts on the collaboration and how the vision of Doodlage came in synergies with OCD for this collection.
We all agreed on pretty much all the points, and so hence we sort of came together for this collaboration, and it's been like a very easy um, transition from collecting scraps to making a shoe. So I think it was a lot of fun. Do you have like any specific things that you want me to sort of further talk about, or Aditi can take over to launching this release?
Yeah, I think you pretty much covered most of it. I think I just wanted to add that like how the last 1.5 years. I mean, of course, all of the brands, homegrown brands, and somebody who has been starting over the last couple of years. We have began our journey with all these conscious values, but I think the last 1.5 years has really pushed us to be more vocal about it. And
Yes.
I think at OCD also, I think this was a perfect chance. And in March, we launched our off-card project, and I think it was just one step to seeing, evaluating our waste. How can we use creative design processes like nesting or even production optimization. And it was perfect timing to have this conversation with Doodlage. It kickstarted really well, and I think, as you mentioned, it was a beautiful journey from working with scraps to creating something so right to the time that we all are living in. Thinking about the comfort, the loungewear, and I think that's a great segue to hear more about the design process and how it unfolded. So, Aditi, over to you. Take it away.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So, I mean, Kriti just said it completely right. When it came to the brief of the collection, we all were pretty much on the same page. So it was yes, it has to be loungewear. Yes, it has to be comfort first. And yes, it has to be all those colors and all those kind of shoes which are very, very wearable and very, very summery as well, very easy to wear. So yeah, that was the brief of the collection, that we have to use waste leather to create very OCD designs, which means like very minimal yet, you know, very chic. So that was the challenge. But yeah, instantly the first thought that arose was that, you know, let's just patch these leathers together and see what comes out of it. And then we the entire design team at OCD, we did you know, various experimentations where we tried patching them together just by stitching or like pleating them and etc etc. And then finally we decided on this one technique which I thought that you know, really represented the design language of OCD plus the values of doodleage as well. So that was the idea behind the technique that we've used, and we've never really done something like this in OCD before. Like, it's mostly about geometric shapes and designs, which was also there in this collection, but yeah, like we haven't really used a technique before. And then to derive the designs and the silhouettes, we actually looked at charbagh, so which is like, you know, a collection of small parks all coming together to form a like a huge sort of an entity. So and you know, they are all divided and organized in a very geometric manner. So that was like the whole inspiration behind it. And then every silhouette, like this was, I think, in all our minds, that we have to give uh, a shoe for every woman in this collection. So like each shoe is something which like talks to a certain personality. So yeah, so that was like the whole idea and the inspiration behind the collection. And if you guys will allow me, I'll want you guys to walk through the collection. So this was the first silhouette. This is like a slingback, classic, very you know, chic and easy to wear. You can wear it to work. You can wear it grocery shopping. It's like a very, you know, like a classical silhouette. And I'm just gonna let Shivani show it how it looks on the foot.
I think this is one of my favorite. I mean, I'm a big pointed toe girl, so I think this is definitely a perfect silhouette for me.
I think it was a mix of a design process, and then we sort of had that whole marketing, how to market the collection conversation, where we actually, it sort of moved from just design to representing each shoe to one person, because we were also restricting this to launch like just 5 shoes, right?
Yeah.
I think that was very interesting.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. So next we have the pointed toe mule, and Shivani is gonna show it in a tan color. This is again a very you know, easy to wear silhouette. Just slip it in. Yeah, it fits the brief perfectly. It's quite chic.
Yeah, I like how the pleats is like nicely detailed out with a nice contrast on the bottom. I think that just really highlights all the gradation on the pleats. I think that's pretty interesting. Guys, and also all the shoes that we have in a collection have names that are inspired by all these well-known women activists in this space. So the one that Shivani just showcased to is called Helen. So just sharing it so that in case you guys have any questions further, you can just refer to the names as well.
This is so strange, Neha, that I don't think we've ever discussed this, but all our collections, all the dresses in the collection are named after female actress, and I don't think we shared this as a thing ever. But I think
It's natural.
All right, so this is our next style. It's in a square toe shape, so it gives a very contemporary feel. Yet, you know, it's like super relevant for these times, I think. And this is also again in the same three colors: the black, olive, and tan.
I think what I even like is how now that slowly things are opening in India, we have, a very nice balance of like it has a very nice work where to work sort of vibe as well. So it's perfect.
Yes. And the next one that Shivani is going to showcase now is the strappy sandal that we have. So yeah, I think it's like super delicate, and I was saying that there's something for everybody in this collection. So I think this particularly talks to a very feminine sort of a woman, I feel.
Yeah, and I think this silhouette has been getting the most traction since we launched the collection. So, woo to Louisa.
This was Neha's favorite also when we shared the sketches.
I think I end up just liking most of them during the whole process of designing but it's nice to see, from the sketch how the actual shoe looks.
So now I think we have our last style, which is the slider that Kriti has. So,
And
yes.
it obviously is my favorite shoe because I did know about all the shoes and I did get to pick first.
Yeah. So I think I'm
Which
gonna
I
let
think
Kriti talk
everybody
about
who
this.
I think everybody who I shot with to record like videos etc. was very jealous of the fact that I got to pick first. But I absolutely love the shoe. I anyway love mules. I think besides this, the pointed toe mule was my second favorite because I mean I just for me and for my lifestyle and for the fact that I need something to slip on and sort of move around. I think I've gotten this one in olive, which is again one of my favorite pieces. I genuinely, one, I think would like to point out again that everything is out of off cut. So waste is really not waste until wasted. And I think this collection sort of speaks to very, like a lot of women individually, and everybody would have their favorite pick.
Yeah, and I think even the whole idea of as you say mentioned, right, choosing the off cuts. So the color palette also comes because these colors are pretty much the recurring most used in our collections as well. So I think that was also a very interesting process to think of how do we actually, like, what are the off cut options that we have, and how do we go about making a collection from that. So I think a lot of things go into the collection for sure. I think it's been like since March to July, so good for 4.5 months of planning, and we're so excited to just launch this. And of course, there is a lot more stuff coming up in the coming weeks. I think we launched first shoe Esra, which as you said, it's Kriti has, and in the coming weeks we'll be launching the other ones too. Hi Kriti, go ahead.
I think we missed out on the whole cultivating consciousness. So I think that is something if you could cover. I don't know if you're still doing it, if that's something that you want to talk about.
Yes, so we are, as you said, cultivating consciousness, which is the hashtag, from whether it's the product to the packaging and the whole experience. So each shoe will come with a beautiful note about the collection, which is printed on a seed paper. So you can grow your own marigold at home when you get the order. It has a dust bag which has been crafted by all the upcycled fabrics at Doodlage. So it has an element of both the brands going into the packaging. And of course, then you have your beautiful shoes that I'm sure you all will be excited to unwrap and unfold and share with us, of course, whenever you get your orders. And we would love to see you all wearing this collection as well. Thank you, Rupanshi. Thank you, Mrinmai, for sharing your thoughts. We really appreciate that you guys are liking the collection. Kriti, and what would you say do you have a favorite colorway in the collection?
Tan and olive.
Tan and olive.
I don't have I'm not I have like a few black pieces at home, but I think tan and olive would generally go with most of my stuff as well. I think everything that we've chosen is so clean and basic. I hope it'd be
Kriti, so we have a question asking a little bit more about Doodlage as well.
So I don't know if you can unmute yourself and let me know if there's a specific question about Doodlage because I mean that can take a long time to sort of just talk about what we do.
Just maybe if you could just share how you started your journey and just like how it's led to where Doodlage is today. I think that could also help.
Um, I think it's been such a long time that we started Doodlage, and obviously we pivoted a lot, learned a lot along the way. We started thinking about Doodlage some 10 years back, and the sustainable fashion or the fashion market in general was so different at that point. Even to start a sustainable conversation, we were much more like timid into like having conversations around, this is made out of waste, would you buy it? So, like, today we're all about having that conversation. All our packaging, everything sort of says made from waste. But 10 years back, we were also sort of trying to figure out so many things as to, does this work? Will Indian consumer, how will Indian consumer perceive this as a product? What market to sort of create this for? Where to sell this product? Because we had very limited concept stores, and we still have very limited concept stores, and they're all very focused on a very specific segment of fashion. So it was it's been a very long journey, firstly, but it was, when we started, we were only looking at say fabric wastages from factories, and we were very clear that that's something that is pre-consumer, so it's as good as fresh, but it would be downcycled otherwise if we don't get to upcycle it into a product which has one more value and is created or meant to last. So we started creating products and shorter collections out of it. We sort of got more and more comfortable around training um, our artisans and our vendors as to how to work around fabric wastages, and if there are defects in fabric, how to sort of work around it. And hence also the name Doodlage, because a lot of it depends on the artisan itself. What kind of amending would happen on each product. So, I mean, while the overall look and feel is going to be the same of the product, but there would be like elements that have to be fixed at so many different stages. Like either like a pattern master, like a fabric cutter might have to fix it, or a garment stitching person might have to stitch it, or embroider might have to fix it, or a hand embroider might have to fix it whenever the defect is sort of discovered. So I think that was our first phase of Doodlage, and then we sort of, as we grew, as more people started accepting the need for sustainable fashion, and today, while media has sort of jumped into it, more brands have sort of jumped into it. The conversation itself has become much easier, and then we sort of expanded into recycled clothing, taking care of our own wastages, collaborating with more people. Now we're hoping to sort of start reselling soon. So, the whole concept of, you can get back our clothes and then we'll put that back in a cycle. We hope to be able to work with more people to recycle fabrics, and work with more and more social enterprises during this time. So it's, like I said, it's been a very long journey. So we've been able to work with a lot of things around sustainability, and understand ourselves how to sort of create like a more holistic, sustainable fashion label, while it's almost impossible for a small brand to check all the boxes, but how to sort of look at one thing at a time, and sort of expand as you get more and more funds to be able to do it. And I think that sort of is what we do. We also have now, during the pandemic, started working with more businesses to help them look at more sustainable solutions, which I think is, again, quite interesting, because it allows us to bring the scale that sustainability needs. Because as soon as you help a big corporate rethink maybe their uniforms or their packaging or their merchandise, or like they have an event and they want to do t-shirts instead of t-shirts which are just made out of virgin materials. You suggest them to look at either upcycling or recycling. So with those small events or with those small initiatives, the numbers are so big that you can then sort of pull in like an NGO. You can because you'll be able to sort of support production which is at a large number. So these are just some things that we do. And I don't know if I was able to answer this question for this person, but I hope it sort of gives you an idea about what we do at this.
No, I think it's a great journey, and I think it's a great point that you mentioned that you need to just focus on one thing at a time and then sort of grow, because it can be really overwhelming. And as you said, with startup brands, funds, and that debate is always a constant challenge. But I think this is been a great chat to just get how the thinking works. And I think together, definitely, I think collaboration's the way to help each other out and sort of make this process a lot faster, so that we all are definitely going to need to have or create a better future out there.
I am I can't agree more. Like I think collaboration is something that's worked really well for us. It works on all fronts. Like one, you are able to expand your understanding of design, your understanding of materials. You are able to market to two different audience. So there's if you find like-minded people, then it's all a plus plus.
Great. So I think we're almost at time. We have like I think 4 minutes left. But I just want to again thank all of you guys for taking out time, joining us, and just hearing us out how we went about the collection. We really hope that you liked the collection, and we look to seeing these pieces in your closet very, very soon.
Thank you guys. Thank you for listening in.
And
Bye.
first, thanks to Kriti and Aditi for joining me and really launching the collection formally now. It feels great.
Yeah. So.
Thanks everyone. Take care. Thanks again.